At 3:17 in the morning, Marcus Thompson answered a phone call that shattered 16 years of silence. A girl he swore to protect was dying in a hospital bed. 4 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and a stepfather with a badge who claimed it was all just an accident. By dawn, 97 motorcycles would thunder across the Arizona desert toward one promise. But what they found in that hospital would ignite a war between justice and power that no one saw coming. Before we ride into this storm together, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. Stay with me until the end, because what these writers did will restore your faith in what family really means. The phone screamed. Marcus grabbed it. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, this is Linda Chen, Arizona Child Protective Services. I'm calling about Emma Collins. His blood froze. What happened to her? She's at Banner Medical Center in Flagstaff. Admitted 6 hours ago, punctured lung, 4 broken ribs, spiral fracture on her left arm. Marcus was already out of bed. Who did this? Her stepfather says she fell down the stairs. Did she? Linda Chen went quiet. That silence told him everything. The doctors don't believe it, Mr. Thompson. The spiral fracture means her arm was twisted. The rib fractures show impact from behind. This wasn't a fall. Then arrest him. We can't. Deputy Sheriff Victor Kane is a decorated officer. 15 years of service. Friends in every department. Unless we find grounds for emergency removal, Emma goes home with him in 18 hours. Marcus pulled on his boots with one hand. How far is Flagstaff? 400 miles from Phoenix. I'll be there in 6 hours. Don't let her leave that hospital. Mr. Thompson, I need to explain. Keep her there, whatever it takes. He hung up. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding so hard he could hear it. On the wall hung a photograph. Jake Collins, 27 years old. Desert camo. That crooked smile. 3 weeks before an IED in Fallujah turned him into a memory. Marcus walked to the photo. Touched the glass. Jake's last words echoed through his skull, blood soaking into a rocky sand. Screams everywhere, the smell of smoke and death. Promise me, Grizzly. Promise you'll watch over Sarah and the baby. Promise me, brother. I promise, Jake. I swear on my life. Tell Emma. Tell her daddy loved her. Every day. Tell her. Gone. 16 years. 16 years of telling himself Emma was fine, that Kane had it handled, that the little girl with Jake's eyes was safe. 16 years of lies. Sarah died 2 years ago. Car accident. That's what Kane told everyone. That's what the official report said. Marcus had wanted to come to the funeral. Kane told him to stay away, said Emma needed stability, said she was struggling, and Marcus believed him. Now Sarah was dead. Emma was broken. And the monster who did it wore a badge. Not anymore. He grabbed his phone, dialed. Whoever this is, a deep voice growled. It's 3 in the damn morning. Diesel, it's Grizzly. I need the club. Carlos Rodriguez sat up instantly. What's wrong? Jake Collins' daughter, 14 years old, in the hospital right now. Her stepfather's a cop. He put her there. You're kidding me. They're sending her back to him tomorrow. The hell they are. I need everyone who can ride. Diesel was already moving. Marcus could hear him grabbing keys, pulling on clothes. Where? Flagstaff, 400 miles. Give me 2 hours. I'll have an army. Marcus hung up, dialed again. Marcus. Rosa Vasquez answered on the first ring. 30 years as a trauma nurse. She never slept deeply. What's happening? Jake's daughter, Emma. She's at Banner Medical in Flagstaff, beaten half to death. Oh, God. I'm riding up at dawn. I need you. She's going to need medical eyes. Someone who knows what real abuse looks like. I'm in. What time? 5 a.m. Truck stop on I-17. I'll be there. He made 6 more calls. Every single one answered the same way. David Park, attorney. Emergency custody petition. I'll file within the hour. But Marcus, if Kane has connections, this is going to be ugly. I don't care about ugly. I care about Emma. Samuel Preacher Morrison, 73 years old, founding member of the Iron Brotherhood. Jake Collins, Good man, good soldier. His daughter needs help. She needs everything we've got. Then I'm riding. Who else? Everyone. Good. See you at dawn. By 4:45 a.m., Marcus was geared up. Leather vest, Iron Brotherhood patch, boots worn smooth from 15,000 miles. He walked to his garage. His Harley Road King waited. Black chrome, rebuilt from scrap after Iraq. 19 years of memories. He kicked it to life. One more ride, old girl. One more promise. The truck stop parking lot was chaos by 5:15 a.m. Motorcycles everywhere, engines rumbling, men and women in leather gathering like an army preparing for war. Diesel saw Marcus first, 6'4", beard to his chest, built like a tank. The president's here. Marcus killed his engine, looked around. 50 bikes, 60, 70, more rolling in every minute. Rosa walked over, medical bag on her shoulder. Diesel told us everything. We're ready. Preacher pulled up on his trike. Bad knees kept him off 2 wheels, but nothing kept him off the road. Told you I'd make it. Never doubted you. Liar. Preacher's eyes were hard. 16 years, Marcus. You let that girl slip away. I know. Jake would have had your head. I know that too. Then let's go get her back. Big Tommy Hendricks, high school English teacher, sergeant at arms, called out from his bike. Grizzly, what's the plan? Marcus turned to face them all. More riders still arriving. The rumble of engines shook the ground. We show up, we stand witness, we make sure that hospital knows Emma Collins is not alone. What if cops try to move us? We stay peaceful, but we don't leave. What if they take her anyway? Marcus's voice went cold. Then the whole world watches them do it. A younger rider stepped forward. Brother, I've got kids at home. If this goes sideways, then leave now. No judgment. This is my promise. I'm not asking anyone to risk their freedom for a girl they've never met. The rider looked around, at Diesel, at Preacher, at Rosa. Nah, I'm in. Just wanted to say it out loud. Preacher clapped his shoulder. We're all thinking it. But sometimes you stand up, even when you're scared. Diesel walked to Marcus, lowered his voice. Final count, 97 riders, 3 support vehicles. 97. Everyone who could make it. Marcus's throat tightened. 97 people, dropping everything, riding 400 miles for a girl they'd never met. Thank you, he said quietly. Don't thank us yet. Thank us when she's safe. At 5:30 a.m., Marcus rode to the front of the formation, looked back at his family. Iron Brotherhood, we ride for Emma. 97 engines roared. The convoy pulled onto I-17 North. 1 hour in, Marcus's phone buzzed. David Park. Tell me something good. Emergency petition filed. Hearing tomorrow, 9 a.m. Judge Patricia Moreno. She fair and tough, doesn't like cops who abuse their authority. That's something. There's a problem. Kane's already lawyered up. Union rep is making calls. They're trying to postpone. Can they? Maybe. Moreno doesn't like delays, but they won't delay anything. Marcus, you need to understand. This is war. Kane has 15 years commendations, friends everywhere. You're a motorcycle club president. They're going to paint you as a criminal. Let them paint whatever they want. We need ammunition, character witnesses, people who can testify to your relationship with Jake. Jake's parents, Carol and Bill Collins. Where are they? Phoenix. I haven't talked to them since Sarah died. Call them, today. We need them in that courtroom. Marcus hung up. His jaw was tight. Jake's parents. He'd let that relationship die too. Another failure, another broken connection. He'd fix it, all of it. 2 hours in, gas stop. Rosa handed out water bottles. Hydrate, long day ahead. Marcus stood apart, checked his phone. No messages from Linda Chen. Diesel walked over. You good? No. Yeah, didn't think so. What if we get there and they've already released her? What if Kane takes her before we arrive? Then we go to his house. That's crossing a line. I know. Diesel's jaw was set. But I'm not leaving her there. Whatever it takes. Preacher joined them. I knew Jake. Served with his daddy in Vietnam. That family has given enough to this country. We're not letting his little girl suffer. We're going to get her, Marcus said. And we're going to keep her safe. Damn right we are. They mounted up, rolled back onto the highway. 3 hours in. Marcus's phone rang. Linda Chen. Mr. Thompson, where are you? 90 minutes out. Is Emma still there? Yes, but Kane is here. 2 attorneys with him. They're pushing for immediate discharge. The doctors. Stalling. Dr. Martinez says Emma needs 48 more hours, but Kane is threatening to go over everyone's heads. Keep stalling. I'm trying. How many people are you bringing? Enough. That's not an answer. 97. Dead silence. Mr. Thompson, if you bring a motorcycle gang into this hospital... Not a gang, a family. He hung up. His phone buzzed again. Text from Rosa. Local news picked up the story. #Ride for Emma, trending in Arizona. Good. Let the whole world watch. Another text. David Park. David. Judge Moreno confirmed. Kane's delay motion denied. She wants to hear this case. Finally. Something going right. 4 hours in. Flagstaff city limits. The convoy rolled through town like thunder. People stopped on sidewalks. Cars pulled over. Someone held up a phone to record. Let them, Marcus thought. Let everyone see. His phone buzzed. Carol Collins. He almost didn't answer, almost let it go to voicemail, but he couldn't run from this anymore. Carol. Marcus. Her voice was older, tired, worn down by grief. David Park called me. He told me everything. I should have called you myself. Yes, you should have. A pause. Is it true about Emma? 4 broken ribs, punctured lung, fractured arm. She's been beaten, Carol, for 2 years. Carol made a sound, half sob, half scream. We tried. After Sarah died, we tried to see her. Victor said she didn't want to talk to us. He said she blamed us somehow. He was lying. He isolated her, cut her off from everyone. That monster. Carol's voice shook. That evil monster. I need you at the hearing tomorrow, 9 a.m. I need you to tell the judge Jake trusted me. We'll be there, Bill and I. We're leaving now. Carol. Marcus hesitated. What really happened to Sarah? Silence. Carol. She called me that night, 2 hours before the accident. She said she found bank statements, hidden accounts, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Carol's voice dropped. She said she was going to take Emma and leave. She said Victor was into something bad. She was scared. Marcus's blood went cold. Did you tell the police? I tried. After the funeral, the detective said there was no evidence of foul play. He said Sarah was drunk. He said grief makes people see conspiracies. She was crying now. They believed Victor. Everyone always believes Victor. Not anymore. I'm going to prove what he did. How? I don't know yet, but I've got people looking, and tomorrow that courtroom is going to hear the truth. Marcus Jake trusted you with his life. Don't let his daughter down. I won't. Not this time. The convoy came down Huntington Boulevard like an army. Marcus led them into the hospital parking lot. One by one, 97 motorcycles arranged themselves in perfect formation. 2 lines, engines off, silence. Marcus dismounted. Diesel, Rosa, and Preacher fell in behind him. He walked toward the entrance. The automatic doors opened. Everything stopped. A nurse dropped her clipboard. Security guards reached for their radios. Visitors turned and stared. Linda Chen appeared, younger than Marcus expected, professional suit. But her eyes were wide. Oh my God, Linda Chen. Yes. I'm Marcus Thompson. Where's Emma? Linda's hands were shaking. 4th floor, room 418, but her stepfather, I know about him. He's here, with attorneys. They're demanding. I don't care what they're demanding. Marcus stepped closer. I need 5 minutes with that girl. 5 minutes to tell her she's not alone. Mr. Thompson, you're not family. Legally, her father died in my arms. He made me promise to protect her. I've been breaking that promise for 16 years. His voice cracked. I'm not breaking it anymore. Linda stared at him, looked past him at the 97 riders standing silent in the parking lot. 5 minutes, she said. If Kane comes, let him come. They walked to the elevator, doors closed. Why 97 people? Linda asked quietly. Because she needs to know she matters, not just to me, to a whole family. 4th floor, room 418. Linda stopped outside the door. She's been asking for her mother, the trauma. I understand. Be gentle with her. I will. Marcus pushed open the door. She was so small, lost in white sheets, IVs running into her arm, purple bruise spreading across her cheek, left arm in a cast, breathing shallow, careful. She looked exactly like Jake. Her eyes opened, confused. Who's there? Marcus walked to her bedside, knelt down. Hey, kiddo. Her eyes focused, her brow furrowed, recognition sparked. Uncle Grizzly. His heart shattered. Yeah, Emma, it's me. You're here. I'm here. I'm sorry I took so long. Tears spilled down her cheeks. He said no one would come. He said I was lying. He said nobody cared. He was wrong. He said you forgot about me. Never. Marcus took her hand. I never forgot you. I made mistakes. I should have been here. He hits me. Her voice was small, broken. For 2 years, since Mama died. I know, sweetheart. Nobody believed me. I told my teachers, the school nurse, everybody, but he's a cop, a hero. They said I was making it up. I believe you. Her eyes searched his face, looking for the lie, the betrayal everyone else had shown her. She didn't find it. You do? I do. And I brought people who believe you too. What people? Look outside. He helped her sit up, carefully, watching for pain. She winced, but didn't cry out. She looked toward the window. Her breath stopped. 97 motorcycles, 97 riders standing beside them, silent, waiting. Her hand went to her mouth. Who are they? Your father's family, my family. They rode 400 miles to stand with you. 400 miles? Every single one of them dropped everything. Teachers, nurses, veterans. They didn't know you, but they knew Jake. They knew what he stood for. And when I told them his daughter needed help, not one of them hesitated. She was crying now. Something different from pain. Something like hope. Why would they do that for me? Because that's what family does, real family. The family that shows up when it matters. She turned to him, her father's eyes in a battered face. I thought I was going to die alone. You're not alone. Not anymore. Not ever again. The door slammed open. Marcus was on his feet instantly, between Emma and whoever just walked in. Victor Kane stood in the doorway. Tall, clean-cut, cold eyes, the kind of face that belonged on recruiting posters, but behind those eyes, nothing. Empty. 2 men in expensive suits flanked him. Attorneys. Who the hell are you? Kane's voice was ice. Marcus didn't move. The man who made a promise to her father. Kane's lip curled. Jake's biker buddy. Thought you drank yourself to death years ago. Disappointed. You need to leave. Now, this is my stepdaughter. No. Kane stepped forward. I said leave. And I said no. One of the attorneys, silver hair expensive watch, spoke up. Sir, I'm Robert Fletcher. I represent Deputy Kane. You have no legal standing here. Leave now or face criminal charges. Charge me. You're interfering with a lawful custody. There's nothing lawful about what he did to her. Marcus pointed at Emma. Look at her. Look at those bruises. Look at that cast. And tell me again about lawful custody. Fletcher didn't look, kept his eyes on Marcus. Children have accidents. They fall. She didn't fall. Emma's voice cut through, weak but clear. Everyone turned. He pushed me. He's been pushing me for 2 years. Kane's face twisted. Shut up. Don't talk to her. Marcus took a step toward Kane. Don't you ever talk to her again. She's mine. She's not yours. She was never yours. She's Jake's daughter. Kane's hand moved toward his service weapon. Diesel appeared in the doorway, 300 pounds of muscle blocking any exit. That would be a real bad idea, Deputy. Kane's hand froze. The second attorney pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. Good idea. Marcus smiled. No warmth. Bring cameras. Bring reporters. Let everyone see what Deputy Sheriff Victor Kane does to children. Kane lunged forward. Diesel caught him, held him like he weighed nothing. Let me go. When you calm down. David Park appeared, suit and briefcase. Professional calm. David Park, counsel for Marcus Thompson. I have documentation showing an emergency custody petition filed with Judge Patricia Moreno. Hearing scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow. Fletcher grabbed the papers, scanned them. His jaw tightened. This is unprecedented. This is legal. Until Judge Moreno rules otherwise, Emma Collins remains under protective observation. Any attempt to remove her will be treated as contempt of court. Kane wrenched free from Diesel, pointed at Marcus. This isn't over, Thompson. You're right. It's just beginning. Kane stormed out. His attorneys followed. The door swung shut. Emma was crying. But when Marcus knelt beside her, she reached for him. Don't leave. Please don't leave me. I'm not going anywhere. He held her as gently as he could. I'm right here. Tonight. Tomorrow. Forever. Promise. On your father's grave. Rosa took the chair beside Emma's bed. Hey, sweetheart. I'm Rosa. I'm a nurse. I'm going to stay with you tonight. Emma looked at her. You're with Uncle Grizzly. 15 years. He's one of the best men I know. Rosa smiled gently. And he's not the only one looking out for you. Marcus stepped into the hallway. Diesel and Preacher were waiting. Kane's gone, Diesel said. Left 5 minutes ago. Security chief is watching all entrances. He'll be back. Probably. We're setting up shifts. 8 riders at a time, every 3 hours. Someone at every door. Marcus nodded. His hands were shaking, adrenaline wearing off. Preacher noticed. You need to eat something. I'm fine. You're not. And you're no good to that girl if you collapse. The old man's eyes were sharp. Kane isn't finished. We need you ready for whatever comes next. Marcus sat alone in the cafeteria, forcing down a sandwich that tasted like nothing. His phone buzzed. Text from David Park. Kane's attorney filed a motion, claiming your petition was fraudulent, calling you an unfit guardian with gang affiliations, wants the hearing postponed. Marcus typed back, will it work? Moreno hates delays, but they're also claiming you intimidated hospital staff. They're calling this a kidnapping attempt. We followed every rule. Perception matters. They're going to paint you as a criminal stealing a cop's kid. Another text. We need character witnesses. Jake's parents. Anyone who can speak to who you really are. Marcus stared at the screen. He'd already talked to Carol. She was coming. Bill too. But would it be enough? His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Thompson, you made a big mistake today. Kane's voice. Low. Controlled. Dangerous. Funny. I was thinking the same thing about you. You think you're going to win this. Some bikers and a bleeding heart judge. I think a courtroom full of people is going to hear what you did to that girl. She's lying. The medical records say different. Medical records can be interpreted a lot of ways. So can murder investigations. Silence. What did you say? Sarah didn't crash because she was drunk Kane. We both know that. You don't know anything. I know she called her mother 2 hours before she died. I know she found your hidden bank accounts. I know she was going to leave you and take Emma with her. Kane's breathing changed. Faster. Angrier. You're playing a dangerous game, Thompson. I'm not playing anything. I'm keeping a promise. Promises get people killed. Is that a threat? It's a fact. Accidents happen all the time, to bikers on highways, to little girls in hospitals, to old women in Phoenix who ask too many questions. Marcus's blood turned to ice. If you touch Carol, I'm not going to touch anyone. I don't have to. I have friends everywhere, Thompson. Friends who owe me favors. Friends who know how to make problems disappear. You're done, Kane. Tomorrow morning, everyone's going to know what you are. Tomorrow morning, you're going to drop this whole thing. You're going to tell the judge it was a misunderstanding, that Emma's confused, that I'm a good father who made some mistakes. That's never going to happen. Then accidents are going to start happening, to people you care about, to people who never saw it coming. The line went dead. Marcus sat frozen, his heart pounding. Kane had just threatened Carol, threatened the whole club, threatened everyone. He dialed Diesel. Yeah, Kane just called. He threatened Carol Collins, threatened all of us. You're kidding. Said accidents happen, said he has friends who make problems disappear. Diesel swore. What do you want to do? Get someone to Phoenix, tonight. I want eyes on Carol and Bill until they're safely at that courthouse tomorrow. On it. And Diesel, yeah. Nobody rides alone tonight. Nobody goes anywhere without backup. Kane's desperate. Desperate men do stupid things. Understood. What about Emma? Triple the guard on her room. If anyone tries to get in who isn't medical staff, stop them. Copy that. Marcus hung up. His hands were still shaking, but not from fear anymore, from rage. He walked back to Emma's room at midnight. Rosa was dozing. Emma was awake, staring at the ceiling. Hey, kiddo. She turned her head. I can't sleep. That's normal, after what you've been through. Every time I close my eyes, I see his face. Marcus pulled up a chair, sat beside her. Uncle Grizzly. Yeah. Did you kill people in the war? The question hit him like a punch. He took a breath. Yeah, I did. Did you feel bad? Some of them. The ones just following orders. But the ones who hurt innocent people. He shook his head. No. Emma was quiet. Then, Victor's going to try to hurt you. He told me. Anyone who tried to take me away would regret it. I'm not afraid of him. You should be. Her voice dropped. He's killed people. Not in a war, just because he could. Marcus leaned forward. What do you know? He talks on the phone late at night, thinks I'm asleep. He talks about money, about people who need to disappear, about cleaning up messes. Do you know who he's talking to? No, but... She hesitated. The night Mama died, they were fighting. About the bank accounts, she said she was going to the FBI. What did he do? Emma's eyes filled with tears. He said nobody would believe her, said accidents happen. Then Mama tried to leave, grabbed her keys, and he... Her voice broke. He grabbed her, pushed her down the stairs. She wasn't moving, blood everywhere. Marcus couldn't breathe. I screamed. He covered my mouth. Said if I ever told anyone I'd end up in foster care. Said nobody would believe me because he's a cop. What happened next? He put her in the car. I watched from my window. He drove away. An hour later, he came back in a different car. Said there'd been an accident. Said Mama was drunk. Did you tell anyone? The police who came. But Victor was there the whole time. He said I was in shock, confused. They believed him. She was sobbing now. Everyone always believes him. Marcus took her hands. I believe you. Tomorrow a judge is going to believe you. And Victor Kane is never going to hurt anyone again. Promise. He thought of Jake, of the promise made in blood and sand, of all the years he'd failed. On your father's grave, I promise. 3:47 a.m. Marcus was dozing when his phone exploded. Text from Diesel. Kane's back, parking lot, 20 cops in uniform. They're forming a line. Marcus was up instantly. Stay with Emma, he told Rosa. Don't open that door for anyone. He rode the elevator down, walked outside. The scene was surreal. On one side, 97 bikers, silent, watchful. On the other side, 20 police officers in full uniform, hands on belts, a human wall. And in the middle, Victor Kane. Marcus walked toward him. The night air was cold. His breath fogged. Kane smiled. Thompson, you're a stubborn son of a bitch. And you're a murderer who beats children. The cops behind Kane shifted. Hands moved toward weapons. Marcus didn't flinch. You think you're going to win this? Kane's voice was loud enough for everyone to hear. Some bikers and a sympathetic judge against a decorated officer. She's not your daughter. I've got the law on my side, the badge. What do you have? Marcus looked at his people. Teachers, nurses, veterans, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters. I have people who believe in doing the right thing, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. You're making a lot of enemies tonight. I'd rather have enemies who hate me for protecting a child than friends who let her suffer. From the police line, an older cop stepped forward, Sergeant Stripes. Dan, this isn't the place. Kane's head snapped toward him. Carver, let the judge handle it. 20 cops, 100 bikers. This turns violent careers end, maybe lives. Carver's voice was firm. Walk away. You're taking his side. I'm taking the law's side. There's a hearing tomorrow. Let it play out. Kane didn't move. Then without a word, he turned and walked to his patrol car. The cops followed. The lights disappeared down the street. Marcus exhaled. Diesel appeared beside him. That was close. Too close. He's not done. I know. Preacher limped over. That's Sergeant Carver. He didn't look happy to be here. Not every cop is dirty. Let's hope enough of them are on our side tomorrow. 5:30 a.m. The sky was lightening, gray turning to blue. Marcus stood in the parking lot watching the sunrise. 97 people had followed him here, stood with him through the night. His phone rang. David Park. Marcus, I just got a call from the DA's office. And they're reopening Sarah Collins's case. Marcus's heart stopped. What changed? Anonymous tip. Someone sent them documents, bank records, phone logs, evidence of financial irregularities. The kind of stuff that could put Kane away for years. For fraud. Money laundering. And maybe if Emma's testimony holds up, murder. Marcus looked up at the hospital. 4th floor. A 14-year-old girl who'd been through hell. It'll hold up. The hearing's in 3 hours. Get Emma ready. I will. And Marcus, yeah. Whatever happens today, you did good. Jake would be proud. Marcus hung up. He thought about Jake, about the promise, about 16 years of failure. Today, it ended. Whatever it took. His phone buzzed one more time. Unknown number. He answered. Silence. Then Kane's voice, barely a whisper. You think you won tonight? The hearing is just the beginning. And Thompson... A pause. Accidents happen all the time. To little girls. To old bikers. To everyone you love. The line went dead. Marcus stared at the phone. Somewhere inside that hospital, Emma was sleeping, trusting him to keep her safe. Somewhere in Phoenix, Carol and Bill were driving through the night to testify. Somewhere in this city, Victor Kane was planning his next move. And in 3 hours, Marcus Thompson would walk into a courtroom and fight for a promise he should have kept 16 years ago. The sun rose over Flagstaff. 97 engines waited. The war was just beginning. 3 hours. Marcus spent them pacing the hospital hallway like a caged animal. Every minute felt like an hour. Every sound made him turn, expecting Kane to burst through the doors with an army. At 7 a.m., Rosa came out of Emma's room. She's awake, asking for you. He walked in. Emma was sitting up, her good hand clutching the bedsheet. I'm scared. I know. What if they don't believe me? What if I have to go back with him? Marcus knelt beside her bed, took her hand. Listen to me. You're going to walk into that courtroom. You're going to tell the truth. And when you're done, everyone in that room is going to know exactly what Victor Kane is. But he's a cop. He's got lawyers. And you've got 97 people who rode 400 miles for you. You've got your grandparents coming. You've got me. He squeezed her hand. You're not alone anymore, Emma. You never will be again. She wiped her eyes. What if I freeze? What if I can't say the words? Then I'll be right there. You look at me. You remember your dad, and you tell the truth. Did my dad ever get scared? Marcus smiled. All the time, but he did the right thing anyway. That's what courage is, being scared and doing it anyway. Emma took a breath, nodded. Okay, I'll try. That's my girl. At 8 a.m. they moved. Diesel had organized the escort. 40 bikes would lead the way to the courthouse. The rest would follow after filling the parking lot, the sidewalks, every inch of space they could legally occupy. Rosa helped Emma into a wheelchair. Hospital policy. Emma hated it, but she was too weak to argue. Marcus pushed her through the lobby, past the nurses who had watched over her all night, past the security guards who had let 97 bikers camp in their parking lot, past Linda Chen, who stood by the door with tears in her eyes. Good luck, Linda said quietly. Thank you for everything. Just bring her home safe. Outside, the morning sun was blinding, and there, arranged in perfect formation, were the Iron Brotherhood, 97 riders, standing beside their bikes, silent, waiting. When Emma appeared, something shifted. A ripple went through the crowd, and then one by one they began to clap. Preacher started it, then Diesel, then Rosa, then Big Tommy and Snake, and every single rider in that parking lot. Emma's eyes went wide. They're clapping. For me. For you. Why? Because you survived. Because you're fighting back. Because you're Jake Collins's daughter. She started crying again, but this time she was smiling too. Marcus loaded her into the support van. Rosa climbed in beside her. Diesel mounted his bike and pulled up next to the driver's window. Courthouse is 20 minutes. We've got scouts ahead. If Kane tries anything on the road, we'll know. He won't try anything in daylight. Too many witnesses. You sure about that? Marcus wasn't sure about anything anymore. Just get us there. The convoy moved. 20 minutes of tension. 20 minutes of Marcus checking his mirrors, watching for police cars, waiting for something to go wrong. Nothing did. They arrived at the courthouse at 8:40 a.m., and the scene that greeted them was chaos. News vans everywhere, reporters with cameras, a crowd of people holding signs. Some said, "Justice for Emma." Others said, "Support our police." The story had spread overnight. The whole state was watching. Kane was already there, standing on the courthouse steps with his attorneys, surrounded by a wall of uniformed officers. When the convoy pulled in, Kane's face twisted. Marcus stepped out of the van, helped Emma into her wheelchair, pushed her toward the entrance. The crowd parted. Kane blocked the path. "You're making a mistake, Thompson. Move! She belongs with me. She's confused, traumatized. She doesn't know what she's saying." Marcus leaned close. His voice was ice. "I know exactly what she's saying, and in about 20 minutes so will everyone else." He pushed past Kane. The Iron Brotherhood fell in behind him, forming a protective wall. They entered the courthouse. David Park was waiting inside. He looked tired. He'd been up all night preparing. "We're in courtroom 7. Judge Moreno is already on the bench. Kane's lawyers filed 3 more motions this morning. Did any of them stick? No. Moreno denied them all. She wants this case heard today." "Good. There's something else." David pulled Marcus aside. His voice dropped. "I got a call from Rico 20 minutes ago. He found Sarah's car." Marcus's heart stopped. And the brake line was cut. Clean cut. Deliberate sabotage. Can he prove it? He's on his way here now, with photos, with documentation, with everything we need. Marcus closed his eyes. Sarah. Finally justice. How long until he gets here? Maybe an hour, maybe less. Can you stall? I can try. But Marcus... David grabbed his arm. If this evidence is real, we're not just talking about custody anymore. We're talking about murder, 1st degree. I know. Kane is going to fight. Hard. His lawyers are going to tear Emma apart on that stand. She's ready. Is she? Marcus looked at Emma. 14 years old. Beaten. Broken. But sitting up straight in that wheelchair with her jaw set and her father's eyes burning. Yeah, she's ready. They walked into courtroom 7. The gallery was packed. Iron Brotherhood members filled every available seat. Carol and Bill Collins sat in the front row, holding hands, both of them pale and trembling. Kane sat at the defendant's table with his two attorneys. He was wearing a suit now, looking every inch the decorated officer, the hero cop. Judge Patricia Moreno entered. Everyone rose. "Be seated." She was older than Marcus expected. Gray hair, sharp eyes, the kind of face that had seen everything and believed nothing without proof. "This is an emergency custody hearing regarding the minor child, Emma Collins. Mr. Park, you represent the petitioner." David stood. "Yes, Your Honor." "Mr. Fletcher, you represent the respondent." Fletcher rose, smooth, confident. "Yes, Your Honor." "Let's begin." Mr. Park, opening statement. David walked to the center of the courtroom. "Your Honor, we are here today because a 14-year-old girl was beaten nearly to death by the man who was supposed to protect her. Emma Collins suffered 4 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and a spiral fracture of her left arm. The medical evidence is clear. These injuries were not caused by a fall. They were caused by deliberate violence." Fletcher was on his feet immediately. "Objection. Counsel is testifying." "Sustained. Mr. Park saved the arguments for later." "My apologies, Your Honor. The petitioner Marcus Thompson is the godfather of Emma Collins and was a close personal friend of her biological father, Jake Collins, who died serving his country in Iraq. Mr. Thompson has maintained a relationship with Emma throughout her life and is seeking emergency custody to protect her from further harm." "Thank you. Mr. Fletcher." Fletcher stood, buttoned his jacket. "Your Honor, what we have here is a tragic misunderstanding being exploited by a man with no legal standing and questionable associations. Deputy Sheriff Victor Kane is a decorated officer with 15 years of exemplary service. He has raised Emma as his own daughter since marrying her mother 6 years ago. The injuries Emma suffered were the result of an accidental fall as documented in the initial police report. Mr. Thompson is the president of a motorcycle gang with— Objection. David's voice was sharp. The Iron Brotherhood is a registered veterans organization, not a gang. Sustained. Mr. Fletcher, stick to facts. Fletcher's smile didn't waver. My apologies. Mr. Thompson has not been a consistent presence in Emma's life and has no legal right to custody. We respectfully request that this petition be dismissed and Emma be returned to her loving home. Thank you. Mr. Park, call your first witness. The petitioner calls Emma Collins. A murmur went through the courtroom. Kane leaned forward, his eyes fixed on Emma. Rosa wheeled Emma to the front, helped her stand. Emma walked slowly to the witness stand, one hand pressed against her ribs. The bailiff held out a Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Emma's voice was barely a whisper. I do. Please state your name for the record. Emma Marie Collins. How old are you, Emma? 14. David approached gently. Emma, I know this is difficult. Take your time. Can you tell the court what happened 3 nights ago? Emma swallowed. Her eyes found Marcus in the gallery. He nodded. Victor came home late. He was drinking. He gets mean when he drinks. What happened when he came home? He asked where dinner was. I told him it was cold because he was 3 hours late. He got angry. What did he do? He grabbed my arm, twisted it behind my back, said I needed to learn respect. And then I tried to pull away. He shoved me. I hit the table, and I heard something crack. Your ribs. Yes. What did Victor do after you fell? Emma's voice broke. Nothing. He stood over me and said if I told anyone, he'd say I fell down the stairs, that no one would believe me because he's a cop. Did he call for help? No. He went to his room. I laid there for 2 hours before I could move. Then I called 911 myself. David paused. Let the silence fill the room. Emma, was this the first time Victor hurt you? No. How many times has he hurt you? I don't know. A lot. Since my mom died. Can you give us some examples? He slapped me once for getting a B on a test. He locked me in my room for a whole day because I asked to see my grandparents. He broke my phone when he found out I tried to call Uncle Grizzly. Uncle Grizzly is Marcus Thompson. Yes. Did you ever tell anyone about the abuse? I tried. I told my teachers, the school nurse. They didn't believe me. Why not? Because Victor's a cop, a hero. Everyone loves him. Her voice turned bitter. They said I was making it up, that I just missed my mom. David glanced at the judge. Moreno's face was unreadable. Emma, I need to ask you about your mother, about the night she died. Fletcher shot to his feet. Objection. This is beyond the scope of this hearing. Sarah Collins's death was investigated and ruled accidental. Moreno looked at David. Counsel, where are you going with this? Your Honor, Emma Collins has direct knowledge of events surrounding her mother's death. Her testimony is relevant to establishing the pattern of abuse and the danger she faces if returned to Deputy Kane's custody. I'll allow it, but tread carefully, Mr. Park. David turned back to Emma. Emma, can you tell us what happened the night your mother died? Emma's hands were shaking. Tears rolled down her cheeks. They were fighting about money. Mama found bank statements, hidden accounts. What did she say about the accounts? She said she was going to leave, take me with her. She said she was going to the FBI. What did Victor do? Emma's voice dropped to a whisper. He said no one would believe her. He said accidents happen all the time. And then Mama tried to leave. She grabbed her keys and he... Emma choked. He grabbed her, pushed her down the stairs. Gasps filled the courtroom. Kane was on his feet. She's lying. She's making this up. Officer Kane, sit down. Moreno's voice cracked like a whip. One more outburst and I'll hold you in contempt. Fletcher pulled Kane back into his seat, whispered urgently in his ear. David continued. Emma, what happened after your mother fell? She wasn't moving. There was blood. I screamed. Victor covered my mouth. He said if I ever told anyone, he'd make sure I ended up in foster care. What did he do next? He carried her to the car, put her in the driver's seat, drove away. How long was he gone? About an hour. When he came back, he was in a different car. He said there'd been an accident, that Mama was drunk and hit a tree. Did you believe him? No, but he said no one would believe me. He's a cop. Everyone believes cops. Did you try to tell anyone? I told the police who came to the house. Victor was there the whole time. He said I was in shock, confused. They believed him. David stepped back. No further questions, Your Honor. Moreno turned to Fletcher. Cross-examination. Fletcher stood slowly, approached the witness stand with a sympathetic smile that made Marcus want to punch him. Emma, I'm very sorry for everything you've been through. I just have a few questions. Emma said nothing, just stared at him with her father's eyes. You said your mother and Victor were fighting about hidden bank accounts. How did you know what was in those accounts? I heard them fighting. But you were upstairs, behind a closed door. I could still hear. Could you? Or did you piece together what you think you heard? I know what I heard. Emma, you were 12 years old when your mother died. Grieving, traumatized. Isn't it possible your memories are confused? No. Isn't it possible you saw your mother fall accidentally and your young mind created a different story? He pushed her, I saw it. Through a cracked door, from the top of the stairs, in the dark. There was light from the hallway. But your view was limited, you admit that. I saw enough. Fletcher paced, changed tactics. Let's talk about the night you were injured. You said Victor came home drunk. How drunk? I don't know. He smelled like alcohol. 1 drink, 5-10. I don't know. So you can't say for certain how impaired he was. He was mean. That's all I know. Mean. Or enforcing house rules. Fletcher's voice sharpened. You admitted you talked back to him. I just said dinner was cold. And when he asked for respect, you argued. Because he was being unfair. Fair or not, he's the parent. You're the child. Isn't it his job to discipline you? David shot up. Objection. Counsel is blaming the victim. Sustained. Mr. Fletcher, move on. Fletcher smiled. Didn't seem bothered at all. Emma, you fell and broke 3 ribs. But couldn't those injuries have come from falling into the table, from losing your balance during an argument? He pushed me. Or you stumbled. Accidents happen, especially when emotions run high. It wasn't an accident. How can you be sure? Were you watching your footing? Or were you focused on arguing? I know the difference between falling and being pushed. Do you? Because a traumatized 14-year-old who's lost both parents might see violence where there's only tragedy. Emma's face flushed. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying your perception might be clouded by grief. My perception is fine. He hurt me. He's been hurting me for 2 years. And he killed my mother. Fletcher stepped back. No further questions. Moreno looked at Emma with something that might have been compassion. You may step down, Miss Collins. Rosa helped Emma back to her wheelchair. Marcus caught her eye as she passed. She was shaking but holding together. You did good, he mouthed. She tried to smile, couldn't quite manage it. David stood. The petitioner calls Carol Collins. Carol walked to the stand. Her hands were trembling. Bill squeezed her shoulder as she passed. After she was sworn in, David approached. Mrs. Collins, what is your relationship to Emma? I'm her grandmother. Jake Collins was my son. When was the last time you saw Emma before yesterday? 2 years ago, at Sarah's funeral. Why so long? Victor wouldn't let us see her. We called every week. He always had an excuse. She was busy. She was studying. She didn't want to talk to us. Did Emma ever try to contact you? Once. About 6 months after Sarah died. She called from a friend's phone, said she missed us. We were arranging a visit when Victor called back. He was furious, said we were interfering. What happened after that? The calls stopped completely. We tried 3 times to visit. He wouldn't let us in the house. Did you suspect abuse? Carol's voice cracked. I suspected something was wrong, but Victor was a decorated officer. Everyone spoke so highly of him. I thought maybe Lily was just grieving. Mrs. Collins, you mentioned Sarah called you the night she died. Yes, about 2 hours before the accident. What did she say? She said she found bank statements, hidden accounts, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Carol wiped her eyes. She said Victor was into something bad. She was scared. She said she was going to take Emma and leave. Did she say anything else? Yes, she said. Carol's voice broke. She said she was going to call the FBI in the morning. The courtroom erupted. Moreno banged her gavel. Order, order in this court. Fletcher was on his feet. Objection, this is hearsay. It's an excited utterance, Your Honor, a statement made by the victim shortly before her death under stress of the events. Moreno considered. I'll allow it. Continue, Mrs. Collins. That's all she said. 2 hours later, she was dead. Did you tell the police about this call? I tried. After the funeral. The detective said there was no evidence of foul play. He said Sarah was drunk. He said grief makes people see conspiracies. Carol was crying openly now. He was Victor's friend. They all were. No further questions. Fletcher didn't cross-examine. Smart move. Attacking a grieving grandmother would only hurt his case. David checked his phone, looked at Marcus, nodded slightly. Rico was close. Your Honor, the petitioner requests a 30-minute recess. We have additional evidence that is being transported to the courthouse as we speak. Fletcher jumped up. Objection! This is a delaying tactic. The petitioner has had ample time to prepare. What evidence, Mr. Park? Moreno asked. Evidence regarding the death of Sarah Collins. Evidence that directly impacts the safety of Emma Collins. Moreno studied David, then looked at Emma in her wheelchair, at the bruises on her face. I'll grant a 20-minute recess. When we reconvene, Mr. Park, you better have something substantial. Thank you, Your Honor. The bailiff called the recess. People stood, stretched, whispered. Marcus pushed through to David. Where's Rico? 5 minutes out. He's got everything. Photos of the brake line, documentation, expert analysis. Will it hold up? If Moreno lets it in, it could change everything. Kane was across the room, huddled with his lawyers. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. He knew what was coming. Marcus's phone buzzed. Text from Diesel. Kane's making calls. Something's happening. Watch your back. Marcus looked around the courtroom. 2 of Kane's cop friends were moving toward the exit. Another was on his phone talking urgently. Something was wrong. He texted back, "Stay on them. Don't let anyone leave the building." His phone buzzed again. Unknown number. He answered. "Thompson." Kane's voice, low, desperate. "This doesn't have to end badly." "Too late for that. I'll sign over custody. Walk away. No fight. Emma's yours." Marcus's blood went cold. "What's the catch?" "Drop the investigation into Sarah. Tell the DA you were wrong. Tell them Emma was confused. You want me to help you get away with murder?" "I want you to think about what happens next. I've got friends, Thompson. Powerful friends. If this goes to trial, things are going to come out. Things that could hurt a lot of people." "Are you threatening me?" "I'm offering you a deal. Take Emma. Raise her. Give her a good life. Just let the rest go." Marcus looked at Emma, at Carol and Bill, at 97 people who had dropped everything to fight for a girl they'd never met. "No." "Think carefully, Thompson. This is your only chance. I said no. Emma deserves justice. Sarah deserves justice. And you deserve to rot in prison for what you did." Silence. Then, "You're going to regret this." The line went dead. David appeared at his shoulder. "Rico's here." A man in mechanic's coveralls pushed through the courtroom doors, carrying a laptop, a folder stuffed with papers. Rico Mendez, 22 years as a mechanic, the best eye for sabotage Marcus had ever known. "Tell me you've got it," Marcus said. Rico smiled. "I've got it. Clean cut on the brake line, 4 to 6 hours before the crash. Someone took a blade to it. Deliberate, premeditated. Can you testify to that? Put me on that stand and watch." The bailiff called the court back to order. Everyone took their seats. Moreno looked at David. "Mr. Park, you said you have new evidence." "Yes, Your Honor. The petitioner calls in Rico Mendez." Rico walked to the stand, was sworn in. "Please state your name and occupation for the record." "Enrico Mendez. I'm a certified automotive mechanic. 22 years experience. I specialize in accident reconstruction and vehicle safety analysis." "Were you asked to examine a vehicle related to this case?" "Yes. Sarah Collins' 2017 Honda Civic. Impound lot number 473. "What did you find?" Rico opened his laptop, turned it toward the judge. "The brake line had been deliberately cut. See here." He pointed to the screen. "Clean cut. Made with a blade. Not corrosion, not wear. Someone took a knife or wire cutters to that line." Moreno leaned forward. "You're certain this was deliberate?" 100%, Your Honor. I've been doing this for 22 years. I know the difference between mechanical failure and sabotage. This was sabotage. What would happen to a vehicle with a cut brake line? After a few miles of driving, the hydraulic fluid would leak out completely. The driver would have no braking power. At highway speeds, that's fatal. How long before the crash would this cut have been made? Based on the corrosion patterns and fluid residue, I'd estimate 4 to 6 hours. David stepped forward. "So whoever cut that line knew Sarah Collins would be driving that evening." "Objection," Fletcher shouted. "Speculation." "Sustained. Mr. Park, stick to facts." "No further questions." Fletcher stood slowly. His confident smile was gone. "Mr. Mendez, you said the brake line was cut. Can you tell us who cut it?" "No." "Can you say with certainty that my client was anywhere near that vehicle?" "No." "So for all we know, Sarah Collins could have had enemies, someone else with a grudge." "That's possible, but thank you. No further questions." Rico stepped down. But the damage was done. Marcus could see it in Moreno's face. In the way she looked at Kane, she believed it. David stood. "Your Honor, in light of this new evidence, we request that Emma Collins be placed in emergency custody of Marcus Thompson, pending a full criminal investigation into the death of Sarah Collins." Fletcher jumped up. "Your Honor, this is outrageous. A cut brake line doesn't prove anything. There's no evidence linking my client to Mr. Fletcher." Moreno's voice was ice. "I've heard enough." She turned to Kane. "Deputy Kane, I don't know if you killed your wife. That's for the criminal justice system to determine. But I know this." She held up a folder. "Medical records showing injuries inconsistent with a fall. Testimony from a child who has suffered for 2 years. Evidence suggesting the mother of that child was murdered." Kane was sweating now, his hands gripping the table. "I am not going to send this girl home to you. Not today. Not ever." Kane stood. "Your Honor." "Sit down, deputy." He didn't sit. "This is a setup. Thompson and his gang, they threatened me. They intimidated witnesses. I said sit down." Kane's hand moved toward his belt, where his service weapon would be. The courtroom froze. Diesel was already moving. 300 pounds of muscle between Kane and the judge. "Don't," Marcus said quietly. Kane's hand stopped. 2 bailiffs grabbed him, forced him into his seat. Moreno's voice shook with barely controlled fury. "Deputy Kane, if you ever reach for a weapon in my courtroom again, I will have you arrested on the spot. Do you understand me?" Kane said nothing. His eyes were fixed on Marcus. Pure hatred. "Do you understand me?" "Yes, Your Honor." Moreno took a breath, composed herself. "Effective immediately, I am granting emergency custody of Emma Collins to Marcus Thompson. Deputy Kane is prohibited from contacting Emma except through approved supervised visitation. A full custody hearing will be scheduled in 30 days. She looked at Emma. "Young lady, you showed tremendous courage today. I hope you find the peace you deserve." Emma was crying, but smiling too. Moreno banged her gavel. "This court is adjourned." The courtroom exploded. Iron Brotherhood members cheering, Carol and Bill rushing to Emma, reporters shouting questions. Marcus pushed through the chaos to Emma's side. She threw her good arm around his neck. "I don't have to go back. I don't have to go back." "No, kiddo. You never have to go back." Thank you, Uncle Grizzly." "Thank your dad. He's the one who never gave up on you." Kane was being escorted out by bailiffs. He turned at the door, caught Marcus's eye. "This isn't over, Thompson. Not by a long shot." 2 hours later, Marcus got the call. Kane had disappeared. His patrol car was found abandoned on the side of I-40, his badge and gun on the front seat. And in the glove compartment, a note with 4 words, "You'll pay for this." Marcus read the note 3 times. 4 words that turned victory into terror. "You'll pay for this." His hands were shaking when he looked up at Diesel. "When did they find the car?" 20 minutes ago. Highway Patrol spotted it on the shoulder of I-40 about 60 miles east. Engine still warm. Which direction was he heading? East, toward Texas. Or he wants us to think that. Marcus's phone buzzed. David Park. "Tell me you've heard." "I've heard. State police are putting out an APB. FBI's been notified since he crossed state lines. He's not running to Texas." "How do you know?" "Because Kane doesn't run. He attacks." Marcus's voice was ice. "He's coming back. For Emma. For all of us." "Marcus, the authorities are handling this." "The authorities let him beat a child for 2 years. The authorities ruled Sarah's death an accident. I'm not trusting them to handle anything." He hung up, turned to Diesel. "Where's Emma?" "Still at the hotel with Rosa. Big Tommy and Snake are outside her door. Preacher's in the lobby." "Double it. I want 8 riders on her at all times. Nobody gets in or out without being checked." "Done. What about Carol and Bill?" "Send someone to their hotel. They stay locked down until we know where Kane is." Marcus walked to the window, stared out at nothing. Kane was out there, planning, waiting. And Marcus had no idea where he'd strike first. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. "Thompson." Nothing. "Kane, is that you?" Breathing. Slow. Steady. "I know you're listening. I know what you're planning. Come after me. Come after my club. But if you touch that girl..." Click. The line went dead. Marcus threw the phone across the room. Diesel caught it. "What did he say?" "Nothing. Just wanted me to know he's watching." "Psychological warfare." "It's working." Marcus grabbed his jacket. "I'm going to Emma. Keep everyone on high alert. Anyone sees anything suspicious, I want to know immediately." "Where do you think he'll hit?" Marcus stopped at the door. "If I knew that this would already be over." He rode to the hotel alone, against his own orders. But he needed to move, needed to feel the wind, needed to think. Kane was smart, calculating. He'd spent 15 years as a cop, learning how criminals think, how investigations work, how to cover tracks. He wouldn't make a direct assault. Too risky. Too many witnesses. He'd go for something softer. something that would hurt without leaving fingerprints. Marcus pulled into the hotel parking lot. 4 bikes were already there, more than he'd ordered. Good. The Brotherhood was taking this seriously. He walked through the lobby. Preacher was sitting in a chair near the elevator reading a newspaper. His eyes tracked everything. Anything. Quiet, too quiet. Keep watching. 4th floor, room 412. Big Tommy and Snake stood outside the door like statues. How is she? Sleeping, Tommy said. Rosa gave her something to help. Poor kid was exhausted. Marcus knocked softly. Rosa opened the door. She's out. Finally, first real sleep she's had in days. Marcus walked to the bed. Emma was curled up under the covers, her face peaceful for the first time since he'd found her. The bruises were still there, the cast on her arm. But in sleep she looked almost normal, almost safe. "We need to move her," Marcus said quietly. Rosa's eyes widened. "Move her. She just got released from the hospital. She needs rest. Kane's gone, disappeared, left a note threatening all of us. Oh God. He knows where we are. This hotel isn't secure. We need somewhere he can't find." Where Marcus had been thinking about that the whole ride over. My place in Phoenix, gated community, security cameras, only one way in or out. That's 400 miles. I know, but it's the only place I can control. Rosa looked at Emma, back at Marcus. She's not strong enough for a 400-mile ride. We'll take the van, stop as often as she needs, but we can't stay here. His phone buzzed. Diesel. We've got a problem. Marcus's blood went cold. What? Someone slashed the tires on 3 of our bikes in the parking lot while we were all inside. When? Had to be in the last hour. Nobody saw anything. Kane, he was already here, already watching. Lock everything down. Nobody leaves the hotel. Nobody goes anywhere alone. What about Emma? We're moving her tonight, after dark. I'll explain when I get down there. He hung up, turned to Rosa. Pack everything. We leave in 2 hours. Marcus, what's happening? He's already here. He slashed tires into the parking lot. He's sending a message. Rosa's face went pale. He knows where we are. He's known the whole time. Marcus walked back to the door, looked at Emma one more time. 14 years old, broken ribs, fractured arm, 2 years of abuse, and now a killer hunting her. He'd made a promise to Jake Collins, a promise to protect this girl no matter what. It was time to keep it. 2 hours later, the sun was setting. Marcus gathered the core team in a conference room on the 1st floor. Diesel, Preacher, Rosa, Big Tommy, Snake, Rico. Here's the situation. Kane abandoned his car 60 miles east. He wants us to think he's running. He's not. He's here, watching. The slashed tires prove it. How'd he get back so fast? Tommy asked. He had help. Friends on the force. Someone picked him up. So much for the thin blue line, Diesel muttered. We're moving Emma tonight, taking her to Phoenix. My place. It's secure. One way in, one way out, cameras everywhere. What about the rest of us? Preacher asked. Everyone scatters. Go home. Stay alert. Check in every 2 hours. Kane can't hit all of us at once. And if he tries, then we respond, together. Snake spoke up. Rare for him. What about the cops? Can't they protect her? The cops had 2 years to protect her. They failed. The cops investigated Sarah's death. They ruled it an accident. I'm not trusting them with Emma's life. Rico raised his hand. I've got a cabin up in Prescott, off the grid. No records in my name. If you need a backup location, write down the address. We might need it. Marcus looked around the room. These men and women had dropped everything to help a girl they'd never met. Now he was asking them to put their lives on the line. I want to be clear about something. This isn't your fight. Kane is dangerous. He's got nothing to lose. Anyone who wants to walk away, no judgment. Nobody moved. Diesel snorted. You really think we'd bail now? I had to ask. Ask something smarter next time. Marcus almost smiled. Almost. We move in 30 minutes. Rosa, get Emma ready. Diesel, you're driving the van. I'll ride escort with Tommy and Snake. Everyone else scatter and stay low." "What about Carol and Bill?" Rosa asked. "They're flying back to Phoenix tonight. I've got someone meeting them at the airport." "And if Kane intercepts them?" Marcus's jaw tightened. "He won't. I've got 3 riders at their hotel right now. They'll escort them straight to the terminal." The meeting broke up. People moved with purpose. No panic, no fear, just determination. This was what family looked like. Real family. Marcus walked back upstairs, knocked on Emma's door. Rosa opened it. Emma was awake now, sitting on the edge of the bed. "Uncle Grizzly, what's happening?" He knelt in front of her, took her hands. "We need to move you somewhere safer, tonight." "Why? What's wrong?" Victor ran. "But he didn't run far. He's watching us. We need to go somewhere he can't find you." Emma's face crumpled. "He's coming for me, isn't he?" "He's trying, but he's not going to get you, I promise." "You keep promising. What if you can't keep them?" The question hit Marcus like a punch, because she was right. What if he couldn't? "Your dad made me promise to protect you. I've been breaking that promise for 16 years, but I'm not breaking it anymore. Whatever it takes, Emma, whatever it costs, you're going to be safe." "What if he hurts someone else? What if he hurts you?" "Then I'll deal with it. That's my job. Your job is to stay strong. Can you do that?" She wiped her eyes, nodded. "That's my girl. Now let's get you out of here." 30 minutes later, they moved. The van pulled out of the parking lot first, Diesel driving, Rosa and Emma in the back, windows tinted, lights off until they hit the main road. Marcus followed on his bike, Tommy on his left, Snake on his right. 3 more riders behind them. The convoy headed south toward Phoenix. For the first hour, everything was quiet. Highway stretched ahead of them, empty and dark. Marcus watched every car that passed, every headlight in his mirrors. Nothing. Maybe Kane really had run. Maybe the slashed tires were a parting shot. Maybe... His phone buzzed. Diesel. "We've got a tail, black SUV, been behind us for about 10 miles. Marcus checked his mirrors. There it was, hanging back just far enough to avoid suspicion. "Can you make out the plates?" "Too dark, too far back." "Speed up, see if they match." The van accelerated. The SUV accelerated with it. "They're matching us," Diesel said. "Take the next exit. Let's see what they do." The van veered onto an off-ramp. The SUV followed. Marcus's heart was pounding. "Tommy, Snake, stay on the van. Don't let it out of your sight. Everyone else with me." He dropped back. Let the SUV close the distance. The off-ramp led to the small town. Closed businesses, empty streets, 1 stoplight. The van stopped at the red light. The SUV pulled up behind it. Marcus pulled up beside the SUV, knocked on the window. It rolled down. His blood froze. Victor Kane smiled at him. "Evening, Thompson." Marcus was off his bike instantly. "Get out of the car." "Easy there. I'm just out for a drive." "Get out of the car now." Kane's smile didn't waver. "What are you going to do? Attack a law enforcement officer in the middle of the street? You're not law enforcement anymore. You're a fugitive." "Am I? Last I checked, I haven't been charged with anything. Just a decorated deputy taking some personal time." "You left your badge and gun. You left a threatening note." "Did I? I don't recall that." Marcus wanted to drag him through the window, beat him until he stopped smiling. But there were cameras everywhere, witnesses. Kane knew exactly what he was doing. "Stay away from Emma." "Emma! My stepdaughter. The confused little girl who made up stories about me." Kane shook his head. "She needs help, Thompson. Professional help, not some biker gang filling her head with nonsense. I'm warning you. No, I'm warning you." Kane's smile vanished. "You took something that belongs to me. You humiliated me in front of the whole state. You think I'm going to let that go? Touch her and I'll kill you." Threats from a man with a criminal record and questionable associations. Kane's eyes were dead, empty. "You're in over your head, Thompson. Way over." The light turned green. Kane hit the gas. The SUV roared forward, cutting off the van, then speeding away into the darkness. Marcus stood frozen in the street. He'd been face to face with the man who'd killed Sarah, the man who'd beaten Emma for 2 years, and he'd done nothing. His phone buzzed. Diesel. What the hell just happened? Kane. He was in the SUV. What? He's playing with us, showing us he can get close whenever he wants. Do we keep moving or turn back? Marcus watched the SUV's taillights disappear. Keep moving, but stay off the main highway, back roads only, and don't stop for anything. They drove through the night. Back roads, small towns, empty stretches of desert. Marcus didn't sleep, didn't eat, just watched and waited. At 4 a.m., his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Enjoying your drive. Thompson. Kane's voice. Calm, almost friendly. What do you want? I already told you what I want. Emma, back where she belongs. That's never happening. Then people are going to get hurt, starting with your friends in Phoenix. Marcus's blood turned to ice. What are you talking about? Carol and Bill Collins, sweet old couple, flying home tonight, or should I say this morning flight lands at 6:15. If you touch them, I'm not going to touch anyone. I told you I have friends. Lots of friends. Some of them work airport security. Some of them are very good at making people disappear. You're bluffing. Tell you what, you get Emma back to that courthouse tomorrow morning, withdraw the custody petition, and I'll let the Collins family walk away. Everyone wins. Or two grieving grandparents have a tragic accident, maybe a fall in the parking garage, maybe a mugging gone wrong. Phoenix is a dangerous city, Thompson. Things happen. Marcus's hand was shaking so hard he could barely hold the phone. I will find you, Kane. I will find you, and I will make you pay for everything you've done. I'm sure you'll try. You have until 9 a.m. to decide. That's when the courthouse opens. That's when you tell the judge you made a mistake. After that, he paused. Well, accidents happen. The line went dead. Marcus immediately dialed Diesel. How far are we from Phoenix? About 2 hours. Why? Kane just threatened Carol and Bill. Their flight lands at 6:15. He says he has people at the airport. Jesus. I need someone there before they land. Someone to get them out safely. I'll make some calls. What about Emma? Keep driving. Get her to my place. Lock it down. I'll meet you there. Where are you going? Airport. Kane thinks he's the only one with friends. He's wrong. Marcus gunned his engine, pulled away from the convoy. He had 2 hours to save 2 lives, and the clock was ticking. The ride to Phoenix was a blur. Marcus pushed his bike harder than he'd ever pushed it. 100 miles per hour, 110, 120. Twice he almost lost control. Twice he recovered. Nothing mattered except getting there in time. At 5:45 a.m., he pulled into the airport parking garage. His phone buzzed. Text from Preacher. I'm here. Terminal 2. Where are you? Marcus ran through the garage, through the terminal, past sleepy travelers and tired security guards. He found Preacher near the arrivals gate. 2 other riders with him. Their flight, on time, landing in 20 minutes. Have you seen anyone suspicious? 3 guys in maintenance uniforms. They've been hanging around Gate 7 for an hour. Nobody's doing any maintenance. Marcus looked toward Gate 7. 3 men, big, alert, watching. Those are Kane's people. How do you want to handle it? We stay visible. Make sure they see us. They're not going to try anything with witnesses. What if they do? Then we stop them. They moved to the arrivals area, positioned themselves between the gate and the exit. 4 bikers in leather vests, arms crossed, watching everything. The maintenance men noticed, exchanged glances. One of them pulled out a phone. Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. You're persistent, Thompson. I'll give you that. Call off your dogs, Kane. Or what? Or I'll call airport security and tell them 3 of your friends are planning something. You really want that kind of attention. Silence. You think you're smart. You're not. You're just delaying the inevitable. 9 a.m. Kane. That's what you said. It's not 9 yet. Back off. More silence. Then, this isn't over. The line went dead. Across the terminal, the 3 maintenance men turned and walked away, disappeared into a service corridor. Marcus exhaled. His hands were still shaking. They're gone, Preacher said. For now. 15 minutes later, Carol and Bill Collins walked through the arrivals gate. Carol saw Marcus first. Her face crumpled with relief. "Oh, thank God. Thank God you're here. Are you okay? Did anyone approach you?" "No. The flight was normal. What's happening? Why are you here?" "Kane. He's been following us. He threatened to come after you." Bill's face hardened. "That bastard. You're safe now. We're taking you straight to my place. Emma's already there." "Emma. How is she?" "Scared, tired, but safe." They walked to the parking garage. 4 bikers surrounding the elderly couple like a protective wall. No one followed them. No one tried anything. But Marcus knew this wasn't over. Kane was testing them, probing their defenses, looking for weaknesses. Sooner or later, he'd find one. They arrived at Marcus's house at 8 a.m. It wasn't much, a small place in a gated community on the outskirts of Phoenix. But it had good security, cameras on every corner, one road in, one road out. The van was already there, Diesel standing guard outside. "Any problems?" "None. She's inside with Rosa." Marcus walked through the front door. Emma was sitting on the couch wrapped in a blanket. She looked up when he came in. "Uncle Grizzly, you made it." "I made it." "Is he still out there?" "Yeah, but he can't get to you here, I promise." Carol and Bill rushed to Emma, hugged her carefully, mindful of her injuries. "Oh, sweetheart. Oh, my baby girl. Grandma, Grandpa." Emma started crying. "I missed you so much." "We're here now. We're not leaving." Marcus stepped back, watched the reunion. 3 generations of the Collins family brought together by tragedy. Jake would have wanted this. Jake would have been proud. His phone buzzed. Text from David Park. "Kane just called the DA's office. He's offering to turn himself in. Wants a deal." Marcus typed back, "What kind of deal?" "Testimony against his partners in exchange for reduced charges. Says he has evidence of corruption going all the way to the top." "Do they believe him?" "They're listening. Meeting scheduled for noon." Marcus stared at the screen. Kane was playing another angle, trying to save himself by selling out everyone else. Maybe it would work. Maybe it wouldn't. But either way, Emma was never going back to him. That was the only thing that mattered. His phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. "Thompson. Change of plans." Kane's voice. Different now. Desperate. "The deal's off." "What deal?" "All of it. The DA, the testimony, everything." "What are you talking about?" "They're cutting me loose. My partners, my friends. They're going to make me disappear." "Sounds like karma to me." "You don't understand. If I go down, I'm taking everyone with me, including you, including Emma." "Is that a threat?" "It's a warning. They're coming for all of us now. Everyone who knows anything. Everyone who's seen anything." Kane's voice cracked. "I need your help." Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. "You beat a 14-year-old girl. You killed her mother. And now you want my help?" "They'll kill Emma too. She knows too much. She heard too much." Marcus's laughter died. "What did you say?" "The phone calls. Late at night. She told you about them, didn't she? The conversations about money. About people disappearing." Marcus's blood went cold. "She was listening. She heard names, dates, details. If they find out what she knows..." "You're lying." "I'm trying to save her life. Our life. Everyone's life." Kane's voice was breaking. "Meet me. 1 hour. The old warehouse on Industrial Boulevard. I'll give you everything. Names, evidence, everything you need to bring them down." "Why would you do that?" "Because I'm dead either way. At least this way Emma has a chance." The line went dead. Marcus stood frozen. It could be a trap. Probably was a trap. Kane had been playing games since this started. But what if it wasn't? What if Emma really was in danger, not from Kane, but from something bigger? He walked to the window, looked out at the quiet street, the peaceful neighborhood. Somewhere out there people were making decisions. About Emma. About all of them. And Marcus had 1 hour to decide if he trusted a killer. His phone buzzed. "Diesel. You okay?" You've been standing there for 10 minutes. Marcus didn't turn around. Get everyone together. We need to talk. About what? About what happens next. He looked at Emma through the window, laughing with her grandparents. Safe, happy. For the first time in 2 years. Whatever it took to keep her that way. Whatever it cost. 1 hour. The clock was ticking. Marcus gathered everyone in the living room. Diesel, Preacher, Rosa, Tommy, Snake, the core of the Iron Brotherhood. Kane called. He wants to meet. Diesel's jaw dropped. You're kidding. He says his partners are cutting him loose, says they're planning to make him disappear, and he says Emma's in danger too. Emma. Why Emma? Those phone calls she heard, late at night, Kane talking about money, about people disappearing. She heard names, details. If the people Kane was working with find out what she knows, it's a trap, Preacher said flatly. Has to be. Probably. Then why are we even discussing this? Marcus ran a hand through his hair. Because what if it's not? What if there's something bigger going on here, something that puts Emma in more danger than Kane ever did? Kane killed his wife, beat his stepdaughter for 2 years, and now we're supposed to believe he wants to help. I don't believe anything, but I can't ignore it either. Rosa spoke up. Marcus, think about this. Kane is manipulative. He's been playing games since this started. This is just another move. I know. So why would you even consider meeting him? Because if there's a 1% chance Emma is in danger from someone else, I need to know. Diesel crossed his arms. When and where? 1 hour. Old warehouse on Industrial Boulevard. I know that place. Empty for years. Perfect spot for an ambush. Or perfect spot for a meeting nobody else can see. Preacher shook his head. You're walking into a kill zone, Marcus. Kane picks the time, picks the place, controls everything. Classic setup. I'm not going alone. Damn right you're not. Marcus looked around the room. I need volunteers, people willing to watch my back without being seen. If Kane tries anything, we shut him down. If he's telling the truth, we hear him out. And if it's somewhere in between, then we improvise. Tommy stepped forward. I'm in. Snake nodded. Me too. Diesel cracked his knuckles. You're not leaving me behind. Preacher sighed. Someone's got to keep you idiots alive. I'm in. Marcus felt something loosen in his chest. These people, this family, they'd follow him into hell if he asked. Rosa, you stay with Emma. Don't let her out of your sight. If anything happens, anything at all, you call me immediately. What do I tell her? Tell her I'm taking care of something. Tell her I'll be back soon. Will you? Marcus didn't answer. Couldn't answer. He walked to Emma's room, knocked softly. Come in. She was sitting on the bed, Carol beside her Bill in a chair nearby. A family portrait that should have existed years ago. Hey, kiddo. I need to step out for a bit. Emma's eyes widened. Where are you going? Just some business. Club stuff. I'll be back in a couple hours. You're lying. Marcus stopped. What? Your face. You get this look when you're worried. Dad used to get the same look. Her voice cracked. Something's wrong. Tell me. He knelt beside her bed, took her hand. Victor called. He wants to talk. Emma's face went white. No. No, you can't. He'll kill you. He says he has information about people who might be dangerous to you. I don't care. I don't care about information. I care about you coming back. Emma, please. Tears streamed down her face. Please don't go. I can't lose anyone else. I can't. Marcus's heart shattered. Listen to me. I survived 2 tours in Iraq. I survived ambushes, IEDs, things that would give you nightmares. I'm not going to let Victor Kane take me out. You don't know that. No, I don't. But I know that whatever he's planning, whatever's happening, I have to face it. For you, for your mom, for your dad. Emma threw her arms around him, squeezed as hard as her broken ribs would allow. Come back. Promise me you'll come back. I promise. On my dad's grave. He closed his eyes, felt the weight of every promise he'd ever made. On your dad's grave. 45 minutes later, Marcus pulled his bike up to Industrial Boulevard. The warehouse loomed ahead, abandoned, broken windows, rusted doors, the kind of place where bad things happened. His earpiece crackled. Diesel's voice. "I'm in position. South entrance. Clear so far." Tommy. "East side covered. No movement." Snake. "North perimeter secure." Preacher. "West wall. I've got eyes on everything. You sure about this, Marcus?" "No. But we're doing it anyway." He dismounted, walked toward the main entrance. Every step felt like walking toward a firing squad. His instincts screamed at him to turn back, to run, to forget Kane and his games and just take Emma somewhere far away. But he kept walking. The door was already open. Someone had been here recently. Marcus stepped inside. "Kane." His voice echoed in the empty space. "Over here." Marcus turned. Kane stood near a support column about 50 feet away, hands visible, no weapon drawn. "You came alone. Did you?" Kane almost smiled. "Touché." Marcus walked closer, stopped about 20 feet away, close enough to talk, far enough to react if Kane tried something. "Start talking. Straight to business. I appreciate that." Kane shifted his weight. "What do you know about the Collins County Sheriff's Department?" "I know you worked there for 15 years. I know they protected you after you murdered your wife." "They didn't just protect me. They owned me." Kane's voice was bitter. "I've been running errands for Sheriff Warren and his buddies since my second year on the force. Money laundering, evidence tampering, making problems disappear." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because they're about to make me disappear. And when they do, they're going to tie up every loose end, including your precious Emma." Marcus's blood ran cold. "Emma has nothing to do with your corruption. She heard things, phone calls, names. She told you herself. What do you think happens when the people I work for find out there's a witness?" "You're lying." "Am I?" "Think about it, Thompson. Why do you think I've been so desperate to get her back? Not because I love her, because she's a liability, to me, to everyone. So your solution was to kill her. My solution was to control her, keep her quiet, make sure she never talked." Kane's voice cracked. "But that's not an option anymore. Now she's out there telling judges and lawyers about the phone calls she heard, describing conversations, details. It's only a matter of time before someone connects the dots." Marcus felt sick. "You're trying to tell me you were protecting her. I'm trying to tell you that keeping her alive was in my interest. Now that interest is gone. And the people I work for, they don't leave witnesses. Ever." "Who are these people?" "Sheriff Warren, D.A. Mitchell, half the county government." Kane laughed bitterly. "You think I'm the monster? I'm just the errand boy. The real monsters wear suits and give speeches about law and order." "Prove it." Kane reached into his jacket. Marcus's hand went to his waistband. "Slow. Easy. I'm just getting documents." Kane pulled out a flash drive, held it up. "Everything is on here. Names, dates, bank records, enough to bring down the whole operation." "Why would you give that to me?" "Because I'm dead either way. They're coming for me. Tonight. Tomorrow. Soon." Kane's eyes were haunted. "At least this way maybe something good comes out of all the bad I've done." "You expect me to believe you've grown a conscience?" "No. I expect you to believe I want revenge. They used me. They're throwing me away. And I want to watch them burn." Marcus stared at Kane, trying to read him, trying to separate the truth from the lies. "What about Sarah? You killed her for this." Kane's face twisted. "Sarah found the bank accounts, started asking questions. I begged her to let it go, told her she didn't understand what she was dealing with, but she wouldn't stop. She was going to call the FBI. So you murdered her." "I didn't have a choice. They would have killed all of us, me, Sarah, Emma, everyone." Kane's voice broke. "I thought if I made it look like an accident, if I kept Emma quiet, we'd be safe. I was wrong. You're a coward, a murderer and a coward." "Yes, I am." Kane held out the flash drive. "But I'm also the only chance you have to keep Emma alive." Marcus didn't move. "Take it, Thompson. Take it and run. Get Emma as far away from here as possible, then release everything to the press. Let the FBI sort it out. And what happens to you? Does it matter? No, I suppose it doesn't. Marcus reached for the flash drive. Kane's phone rang. Both men froze. Kane looked at the screen. His face went gray. They're here. What? They found us. The warehouse wall exploded. Marcus was thrown backward, hit the ground hard, ears ringing, dust everywhere. He scrambled to his feet, tried to see through the chaos. Kane, no response. Men were pouring through the hole in the wall. Black tactical gear, automatic weapons, professional killers. Marcus's earpiece crackled. Diesel's voice barely audible. Marcus, we've got shooters everywhere. Get out. He ran. Bullets tore through the space where he'd been standing. He dove behind a support column, pulled his pistol. Diesel, where are you? Pinned down south side, 3 shooters. Tommy, east entrance blocked. They've got us surrounded. Snake, north side. Static. Then nothing. Preacher, I'm coming to you, Marcus. Hold on. More gunfire. Closer now. Marcus could hear footsteps, multiple targets, converging on his position. He popped out, fired twice. 1 shooter went down. The others scattered. Target acquired northwest corner. They knew where he was. Marcus ran again, zigzagging between support columns. Bullets chewing up the concrete around him. He had to get out, had to get back to Emma. A figure appeared ahead. Black gear, raised weapon. Marcus fired first. The man dropped. Another behind him. Marcus spun. Too slow. The bullet caught him in the shoulder. He went down hard. Pain exploded through his body. He tried to raise his gun. His arm wouldn't respond. The shooter walked toward him, weapon aimed at his head. Thompson, we've been looking for you. Marcus recognized the voice. Sheriff Warren, the man Kane had named. You should have stayed out of this. Just let Kane keep the girl quiet. Now look what you've done. Go to hell. Warren smiled. You first. He raised his weapon. A gunshot echoed. Warren staggered, looked down at his chest, blood spreading across his tactical vest. He fell. Behind him, Victor Kane stood holding a smoking pistol. Get up, Thompson. Marcus stared. You shot him. I told you, they were going to kill me anyway. Kane grabbed Marcus's good arm, hauled him to his feet. We need to move. More are coming. Why are you helping me? Because Emma needs you alive, and maybe... Kane's voice cracked. Maybe I can do one good thing before I die. They ran together. Through the warehouse, toward the south entrance. Diesel appeared, blood on his face, gun drawn. Marcus, thank God. Where are the others? Tommy's hurt. Snake's missing. Preacher's holding the east side. We need to go, now! More gunfire behind them. The shooters had regrouped. They burst through the south entrance. Bikes were waiting. Diesel half-carried Marcus to his. Can you ride? I'll manage. What about him? Diesel glared at Kane. He's coming with us. Marcus, he just saved my life. He's coming. Kane climbed onto the back of Diesel's bike. No argument, no pride left. They roared out of the parking lot. Gunfire fading behind them. Marcus's shoulders screamed with every bump. Blood soaked through his shirt. But he kept riding. 15 minutes later, they pulled into a strip mall parking lot, stopped behind a closed auto parts store. Marcus nearly fell off his bike. Rosa was there, somehow. She caught him. Oh, God, Marcus. I'm okay. You're shot. I noticed. She ripped open his shirt, examined the wound. Through and through, missed the bone. You're lucky. Don't feel lucky. She pulled a first aid kit from the van, started working. Diesel stood over Kane, gun drawn. Give me one reason not to kill you right now. Kane didn't flinch. I don't have one. Diesel. Marcus's voice was weak. He's got information. Names, evidence, everything we need to finish this. He killed Sarah. I know. He beat Emma for 2 years. I know that too. Marcus pushed himself to sitting. And when this is over, he's going to face justice for all of it. But right now, we need what he knows. Kane held out the flash drive, still in his hand, somehow. Everything's on here. Sheriff Warren, D.A. Mitchell, judges, cops, the whole rotten system. Diesel grabbed the drive. If this is fake, it's not. If you're playing us, I'm not. Kane looked at Marcus. I'm tired, Thompson. Tired of running. Tired of lying. Tired of watching everything I touch turn to poison. His voice broke. Just get Emma somewhere safe. That's all I ask. Marcus's phone rang. His blood froze. Rosa. But Rosa was standing right in front of him. He answered. Hello? Uncle Grizzly? Emma's voice, terrified. Emma, what's wrong? Where's... They came. Men with guns. They took Grandma and Grandpa. They said if you don't bring Victor, they'll kill them. Marcus couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Emma, where are you? I hid. Under the bed. They didn't find me. But they have Grandma and Grandpa. They have... The line cut out. Marcus screamed. Diesel grabbed him. What happened? They have Carol and Bill at my house. They want Kane. Kane's face went white. How did they find your place? Doesn't matter. What matters is they have hostages. They'll kill them anyway. You know that, whether you hand me over or not. Then what do we do? Kane was quiet for a moment. Then, we give them what they want. You just said they'll kill them anyway. They will, if we walk in unprepared. But if we go in smart, if we use their expectations against them, we might have a chance. A small one, but it's more than we have right now. Marcus looked at the man who had destroyed Emma's family, the murderer, the abuser, the monster, and saw something else, something desperate, something human. Why would you do this, risk your life for people you've hurt? Because Jake Collins saved my life once, in Afghanistan. Different unit, different mission, but he pulled me out of a firefight when everyone else left me for dead. Kane's eyes were wet. I never told anyone, never acknowledged it. I was too proud, too stupid. And then I married his widow and destroyed his daughter. You knew Jake. I knew him. I owed him everything, and I repaid him by becoming the worst kind of monster. The pieces fell into place. Why Kane had married Sarah. Why he'd been so obsessed with controlling Emma. Guilt. Twisted, poisoned guilt. This doesn't make anything right. I know. Nothing can make it right. Kane squared his shoulders. But I can die trying. Marcus made his decision. All right, here's what we're going to do. 30 minutes later, they were back. Marcus's house, the gated community, the one road in, police cars everywhere, men in tactical gear. Sheriff Warren was dead, but he wasn't the only one pulling strings. Diesel had called in everyone, every Iron Brotherhood member in the state. 47 bikes now lined the street outside the gate. The standoff had begun. Marcus's phone rang. Thompson, I assume you got my message? I've got Kane. Release the hostages. Bring him to the house, alone. We'll talk. No, we do the exchange out here, in the open, where everyone can see. Silence. You're not in a position to negotiate. Neither are you. I've got 47 witnesses. Cameras rolling. The FBI has been notified. You shoot those hostages, the whole world knows within the hour. More silence. 5 minutes, Thompson. Front gate. Kane walks in alone. The old people walk out. Then we're done. And Emma. The girl stays with you. We have no interest in her. How do I know you're telling the truth? You don't, but it's the only deal you're getting. The line went dead. Marcus turned to Kane. You heard him. I heard. Kane was calm, resigned. 5 minutes. Front gate. I walk in. They walk out. They'll kill you. Probably. You're really willing to do this. Kane looked toward the house, toward the window where Emma was hiding. 16 years ago, Jake Collins asked me to help him with something impossible. I said no. I was scared. He did it anyway. Saved 6 men. Died a hero. Kane's voice was steady. I've spent every day since then running from that moment, running from the man I should have been. And now I stop running. Diesel stepped forward. This is insane. You're just going to let him walk in there. It's his choice. He's a murderer. Yes, he is. And maybe this is how he makes it right. Marcus looked at Kane. You sure about this? I'm sure. Then go. Cain walked toward the gate. Alone. Unarmed. The seconds stretched like hours. He reached the gate, stopped, raised his hands. Two figures emerged from the house, Carol and Bill, hands bound, guards on either side. The exchange happened in silence. Cain walked in. Carol and Bill walked out. The gate closed. Marcus ran to the elderly couple, helped them to the waiting van. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? Carol was sobbing. Marcus, they were going to kill us. You're safe now. It's over. That man, Victor, he saved us. I know. Why, after everything he did, why would he? A gunshot echoed from inside the compound, then another, and another, then silence. Marcus stood frozen, staring at the gate. Diesel appeared at his shoulder. What do? We wait. For what? For it to end. 10 minutes later, the gate opened. Men in FBI jackets poured out, then state police, then paramedics. David Park pushed through the crowd, found Marcus. It's over. The tactical team moved in right after the exchange. Most of them surrendered. The rest, Cain. David's face fell. He didn't make it. They shot him the second he walked through the door. But Marcus, he grabbed Marcus's arm. He was wearing a wire. We got everything, every name, every confession. The whole operation is going down. Marcus closed his eyes. Victor Cain, murderer, abuser, monster, and in the end, hero. What happens now? Now we clean up. Arrests, trials, the whole corrupt system exposed. David smiled. Emma's safe, Marcus. Really safe. They've got no reason to come after her now. And the custody, the hearing. Finalized, you're her legal guardian, permanently. Marcus let out a breath he felt like he'd been holding for 16 years. He walked to the van, opened the door. Emma was inside with Rosa, crying, shaking. Uncle Grizzly, it's over, kiddo. It's really over. Victor, gone. Emma was quiet for a moment. Then good. Marcus climbed into the van, sat beside her. How do you feel? I don't know. Relieved, angry, sad. She looked at him. Is that weird? Being sad that he's dead? No, it's human. He was a terrible person who did terrible things, but he was also part of your life for 6 years. It's okay to have complicated feelings. He saved Grandma and Grandpa. He did. Why? Marcus thought about Jake, about promises, about the strange, twisted paths that led people to redemption. Because somewhere inside all that darkness, there was still a piece of the man he should have been. And in the end, that piece won. Emma leaned against him, exhausted, broken, but alive. Can we go home now? Yeah, kiddo. We can go home. The convoy pulled away from the crime scene. 47 motorcycles, 1 van, 1 broken family. Marcus looked in the rearview mirror, watched the police lights fade. It was over. Finally over. But as he drove into the Arizona sunset, he knew the real work was just beginning. Healing Emma, building a life, keeping the promise he'd made to Jake Collins all those years ago. His phone buzzed. Text from Preacher. We found Snake. He's alive. Hospital says he'll make it. Marcus smiled. First real smile in days. Good news, Rosa asked. Snake's okay. Thank God. Emma stirred against his shoulder. Uncle Grizzly? Yeah, thank you for everything. You don't need to thank me. Yes, I do. You came when no one else would. You fought when everyone else gave up. Her voice broke. You showed me what family really means. Marcus's throat tightened. Your dad would be proud of you, Emma. So proud. You think so? I know so. She closed her eyes, finally at peace. And Marcus Thompson drove toward home carrying a promise he would never break again. 3 weeks later, Marcus Thompson stood in his backyard watching Emma laugh. She was playing with Diesel's dog, a massive German shepherd named Tank, who had taken an immediate liking to her. The bruises on her face had faded to yellow. The cast on her arm was covered in signatures from every member of the Iron Brotherhood. She was healing. They all were. "She's doing better." Marcus turned. Rosa stood behind him holding 2 cups of coffee. "Yeah, finally. You should get that shoulder looked at again. You've been favoring it." "It's fine." "It's not fine. The infection came back twice. If you don't—" "Rosa." He took the coffee. "I'm fine." She gave him the look that said she didn't believe him, but would let it go. For now. "Carol and Bill are here." Marcus's stomach tightened. "Already? They want to talk. About Emma's future." "I know what they want. Do you—" He didn't answer, just walked inside to face whatever was coming. Carol and Bill Collins sat in his living room. They looked older than they had 3 weeks ago. The ordeal had aged them both. "Marcus!" Carol stood, hugged him carefully. "How's your shoulder?" "Everyone keeps asking me that." "Because you got shot protecting our granddaughter. We're entitled to ask." Bill stood too, shook Marcus's hand. "We need to talk." "I figured." They sat, Marcus across from them. The silence stretched. Carol spoke first. "We've been doing a lot of thinking. About Emma. About what's best for her." Here it comes, Marcus thought. They want to take her. She's been through so much. Lost both parents, 2 years of abuse, watching her stepfather get killed. Carol's voice cracked. She needs stability. She needs family. She has family, here. We know, but— Carol looked at Bill. He nodded. "We were thinking maybe she should come live with us, in Phoenix. We have a house, a good school district. We could give her a normal life." Marcus felt like he'd been punched. "You want to take her. We want what's best for her. And you think that's not me?" "We think—" Bill leaned forward. "We think a 14-year-old girl might do better with her grandparents than with a motorcycle club president who just got shot in a warehouse shootout. That shootout was to protect her. We know, and we're grateful. But Marcus—" Bill's voice softened. "You live a dangerous life. You've got enemies, people who might come after you. Is that really the environment for a traumatized child?" Marcus wanted to argue, wanted to fight, but he couldn't deny the truth in what they were saying. "What does Emma want?" Carol and Bill exchanged glances. "We haven't asked her yet." "Then maybe you should." The back door opened. Emma walked in, Tank padding behind her. She saw her grandparents. Her face lit up. "Grandma, Grandpa!" She ran to them, hugged them both. Marcus watched, feeling something twist in his chest. "Emma, sweetheart?" Carol held her close. "We need to talk to you about something." "What?" Carol looked at Marcus. He nodded. "Your grandfather and I have been thinking about where you should live. We thought maybe you'd like to come stay with us. Permanently." Emma went still. "In Phoenix?" "Yes, we have a nice house, good schools. You'd have your own room. We could be a family." Emma didn't say anything for a long moment. Then she stepped back. "What about Uncle Grizzly?" "He could visit. You could visit him. It wouldn't be goodbye forever." "But I wouldn't live here." "No, sweetheart. You'd live with us." Emma looked at Marcus. Her eyes were searching, questioning. "What do you want, Uncle Grizzly?" Marcus's throat tightened. "I want what's best for you." "That's not an answer." "It's the only answer I have." "No, it's not." Emma's voice sharpened. "You always have an answer. For everything. So what do you want?" Marcus looked at her, at Jake's daughter, at the girl he'd promised to protect, at the child who had become his whole world in 3 short weeks. "I want you to stay, but your grandparents are right. My life is dangerous. People come after me. If something happened to you because of who I am, something already happened to me, because of Victor, because of cops and corruption and people who were supposed to protect me." Emma's voice rose. "You're the one who saved me. You and the Brotherhood, not the system, not the courts. You." Emma, I don't want safe. I want family. Real family. The kind that shows up when everything falls apart. She was crying now. You showed up, Uncle Grizzly. 97 people showed up. For me, a girl nobody knew. Carol stepped forward. Sweetheart, we're family too. I know, and I love you, but... Emma wiped her eyes. I've spent 2 years being controlled, being told where to go, what to do, who to talk to. Victor decided everything. I didn't have a choice in anything. She looked at Marcus. Now I have a choice, and I choose to stay, here, with the people who fought for me. The room was silent. Carol was crying. Bill looked like he might cry too. Are you sure? Carol whispered. Are you absolutely sure? I'm sure. But Emma walked to her grandparents, took their hands. I want you in my life. I want to visit. I want you to visit. I want to be a family, just differently than you imagined. Carol pulled her into a hug. Oh, sweetheart, if this is what you want, it is. Then we'll make it work. Carol looked at Marcus over Emma's shoulder. All of us. Marcus nodded, couldn't speak. Bill walked over, extended his hand. Take care of her. I will. If anything happens to her, it won't. Bill studied him for a long moment, then did something unexpected. He pulled Marcus into a hug. Jake would be proud of you. You know that. Marcus's eyes burned. I hope so. I know so. The next morning, Marcus woke to screaming. He was out of bed and down the hall in seconds, gun in hand, heart pounding. Emma's door was open. She was sitting up in bed, sobbing, clawing at the sheets like she was trying to escape something. Emma, wake up. Her eyes snapped open, wild, terrified. He's here. He's coming for me. Nobody's here. It's just me. You're safe. I saw him, Victor. He was at the window. He was... Emma. Marcus sat on the bed, took her hands. Victor is dead. He can't hurt you anymore. But I saw him. It was a dream, a nightmare, that's all. She was shaking violently, her whole body trembling. I keep seeing him, every night, every time I close my eyes. He's there, telling me no one will believe me, telling me I'm worthless. That's the trauma talking, not the truth. How do you know? How do you know I'm not worthless? Marcus cupped her face in his hands, made her look at him. Because 97 people rode 400 miles for you. Because your grandparents almost died trying to protect you. Because I got shot and would do it again in a heartbeat. His voice broke. You are not worthless, Emma Collins. You are the most important person in the world to a whole lot of people. She collapsed against him, sobbing into his chest. I don't know how to stop being scared. You don't have to stop. Being scared is normal. Being scared means you survived something terrible. The trick isn't to stop being scared, it's to keep going anyway. Is that what you do? Every day. She pulled back, looked at him. Were you scared in the warehouse when they were shooting at you? Terrified. But you kept fighting. Because you were counting on me. Because I made a promise. To my dad. To your dad. And to myself. Emma wiped her eyes. Tell me about him. My dad. Everything. Now it's 3 a.m. I can't sleep anyway. And Her voice cracked. I don't really remember him, just bits and pieces. Victor never talked about him. Mom didn't either. It was like he never existed. Marcus settled back against the headboard. Emma curled up next to him. Your dad was the best man I ever knew. Funny, brave, stubborn as hell. He used to drive our CO crazy because he never followed orders exactly. Always had a better idea. Was he smart? Brilliant. Could fix anything mechanical, could learn anything he put his mind to. But what made him special wasn't his brain, it was his heart. What do you mean? Jake never left anyone behind. Not once. Didn't matter if it was dangerous, didn't matter if the odds were impossible. If someone needed help, Jake was there. Is that how he died? Helping someone? Marcus closed his eyes. The memories washed over him like they always did. We were pinned down, ambush in Fallujah. 6 of us trapped in a bombed-out building, 3 wounded, no way out. What happened? Jake happened. He grabbed a radio, called in support, then ran through enemy fire to draw attention away from us, gave us a window to get the wounded out. And then there was an IED, buried in the road. He saw it before I did, pushed me out of the way. Emma was quiet. He saved you. He saved all of us. But yeah, he saved me specifically, took the blast meant for me. So if he hadn't pushed you, I'd be dead, and you'd have grown up with a father. Emma shook her head. No, Victor would have found another way to get to Mom. Maybe sooner, maybe worse. She looked at Marcus. You being alive, that's what saved me. Dad saved you so you could save me. Marcus had never thought about it that way. Maybe. Not maybe. It's true. Emma sat up straighter. Everything happens for a reason. That's what Mom used to say. Maybe this is what she meant. Your mom said that all the time, especially after Dad died. She said there was a reason he had to go. She didn't know what it was yet, but she believed it. Do you believe it? Emma considered the question. I believe my dad was a hero. I believe you're a hero. And I believe I'm still here because heroes don't give up on the people they love. Marcus felt tears sliding down his face, didn't try to stop them. When did you get so wise? I had good teachers, eventually. They sat together until dawn, talking, remembering, healing. 1 week later, they buried Sarah Collins properly. The first funeral had been controlled by Victor. Quick, quiet, no real mourning allowed. Emma hadn't even been permitted to speak. This was different. The Iron Brotherhood showed up in force. 63 riders, full colors, a wall of leather and chrome honoring a woman most of them had never met. Carol and Bill stood with Emma, Marcus beside them. David Park had arranged for Sarah's body to be exhumed, re-examined, and released for a second burial. The official cause of death had been changed from accidental to homicide. Finally, the truth. The minister spoke about Sarah's life, her kindness, her love for Emma. Then Emma stepped forward. I want to say something. She stood at the edge of the grave, small but strong. Mom was the best person I ever knew. She loved me more than anything. She tried to protect me from Victor. She tried to leave, and he killed her for it. Her voice didn't waver. For 2 years, I had to pretend it was an accident. Had to act like Victor was a good stepfather. Had to watch everyone believe his lies while I knew the truth. She looked at the gathered crowd. But I wasn't alone, even when I thought I was. Even when I thought nobody would ever believe me. She found Marcus in the crowd. Someone was keeping a promise. Someone I didn't even know existed, and when I needed him most, he came. With an army. She turned back to the grave. Mom, I'm safe now. Victor can't hurt anyone anymore, and I'm with people who love me. Real family, the kind you always wanted for me. She knelt, placed a single flower on the casket. I love you, Mom, and I'll never forget what you sacrificed to protect me. Never. She stood, walked back to Marcus. Was that okay? He couldn't speak, just pulled her into a hug. Your mom would be so proud of you. I know. I felt her. Just now, watching. Marcus believed her. After the service, Diesel pulled Marcus aside. There's something you should see. Found it in Jake's effects. The stuff we got from the military archives. He handed Marcus an envelope. Yellowed. Old. What is this? Letter. Jake wrote it before that last mission. Addressed to you. It was supposed to be delivered if he didn't make it back. But there was some screw-up. It ended up in a file somewhere. Never got sent. Marcus's hands trembled as he opened it. The handwriting was Jake's. Messy. Hurried. Grizzly. If you're reading this, I didn't make it. That's okay. We both knew the risks going in. I need to ask you something. Something big. Watch over my girls, Sarah and Emma. They're everything to me. Everything I'm fighting for. Sarah is strong, but she'll need help. Emma won't remember me. She's too young. But I want her to know who I was. I want her to know that her daddy loved her more than life itself. You're the only one I trust with this, the only one who understands what family really means. Don't let me down, brother. And Grizzly, don't blame yourself. Whatever happened out there, it wasn't your fault. You would have done the same for me. See you on the other side. Your brother always, Jake. Marcus read it 3 times, tears streaming down his face. 16 years. This letter had been waiting 16 years. You okay? Diesel asked. No. Marcus folded the letter carefully, put it in his vest pocket. But I will be. What did it say? Everything I needed to hear, 16 years too late. That night, Marcus showed Emma the letter. She read it slowly, her lips moving with each word. When she finished, she looked up. He knew. Even then, he knew you'd be the one. He trusted me, and I let him down. No! Emma's voice was fierce. You came back. When it mattered most, you came back. That's not letting him down. That's keeping your promise. But all those years are over. They don't matter anymore. She took his hand. What matters is now. What matters is us. What matters is that you're here. Marcus looked at her, at Jake's daughter, at the girl who had somehow become his reason for everything. I love you, Emma. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I don't know if it's my place, but I love you too. She smiled through her tears. And it is your place. You earned it. 2 months later, the trial began. D.A. Mitchell, Sheriff Warren's successor, 12 corrupt officials, all facing federal charges based on the evidence from Kane's flash drive. Emma was called as a witness. Marcus wanted to protect her, wanted to tell the prosecutors to find another way, but Emma insisted. I spent 2 years being silent, being scared, not anymore. So she testified. For 3 hours, she sat in that witness box, answered every question, described every phone call she'd overheard, every name, every detail. The defense attorneys tried to shake her, tried to confuse her, tried to make her seem unreliable. She didn't waver. Miss Collins, isn't it true that you were traumatized, that your memories might be confused? My memories are fine, but the abuse you suffered, the abuse I suffered taught me to pay attention, to listen, to remember everything, because I knew someday someone would need to know the truth. And you expect us to believe a 14-year-old girl has perfect recall of complex conversations? Emma looked the attorney dead in the eye. I expect you to believe that when your life depends on staying alert, you get very good at remembering things. The courtroom was silent. No further questions. The verdict came 3 weeks later. Guilty. All of them. Every single count. Marcus was in the courtroom when the judge read the sentences. D.A. Mitchell, 45 years. The sheriff's successor, 30 years. The others various terms ranging from 10 to 25 years. The corrupt system that had protected Victor Kane, that had ignored Sarah's murder. Emma's abuse, years of criminal conspiracy, was finally dismantled. Justice. Real justice. That night, the Iron Brotherhood gathered at Marcus's house. Every member who could make it. 68 riders in total. Preacher stood at the front of the group. Oldest member, founding father. We're here to recognize something special, something that reminds us why we exist. He looked at Marcus. 16 years ago, a brother asked you to protect his family. You made a promise. Life got in the way. Years passed. But when it mattered most, you remembered. He looked at the assembled riders. That's what the Iron Brotherhood is about. Not the bikes, not the patches, the promises, the family we build, the people we protect. He turned back to Marcus. For extraordinary service to the Brotherhood and to the community, for risking your life to save an innocent child, for never giving up even when the odds were impossible. He held up a patch, a special one, gold embroidered. We award you the honor of the Brotherhood, the highest recognition we can give. The room erupted in applause. Marcus stood, accepted the patch. I don't deserve this. Bull, Diesel called out. You absolutely deserve it. I had help, all of you, Every single one. Without you, none of this would have been possible. That's the point, brother. Preacher smiled. We don't do anything alone. That's what makes us family. Emma stepped forward, stood beside Marcus. Can I say something? Preacher nodded. 3 months ago, I thought I was going to die. I thought no one would ever believe me. I thought I was alone in the world. She looked at the faces around her. Then 97 people I'd never met rode 400 miles to stand with me. 97 people who didn't know my name, didn't know my story, didn't know anything except that a girl needed help. Her voice broke. You taught me what family really means. Not blood, not obligation. Choice, love, showing up when it matters. She turned to Marcus. And you... She stopped, took a breath. You kept a promise to a man who died 16 years ago, a man you could have forgotten, a promise you could have ignored, but you didn't, because that's not who you are. She hugged him. Thank you for coming back, for not giving up, for being the family I always needed. Marcus held her tight. Thank you for being worth fighting for. The party went late into the night. Stories, laughter, tears, the kind of gathering that happens when family comes together. At midnight, Emma found Marcus on the back porch. Can't sleep. Don't want to, not yet. He looked at the stars. Your dad used to say the best nights were the ones that never ended. Did he? Yeah, usually right before he did something crazy. Emma laughed. Sounds about right. She sat beside him. Uncle Grizzly. Yeah. I've been thinking. About what? About names. About what we call each other. Marcus tensed. Okay. You're not my uncle. Not really. And after everything we've been through, Uncle Grizzly feels weird. What would you prefer? Emma was quiet for a moment. I know you're not my real dad. I know Jake Collins will always be my father, but... Her voice cracked. You're the one who raised me, who saved me, who's going to be there for the rest of my life. She looked at him. Would it be okay if I called you Dad? Marcus couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Emma, you don't have to say yes. I know it's weird. I know it might feel like I'm replacing my real dad, but I'm not. I'm adding to my family, the way you added to yours. Marcus's eyes were burning. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He pulled her into a hug. Then yes, you can call me Dad. Emma burst into tears, happy tears, the kind that come when something broken finally starts to heal. I love you, Dad. I love you too, Emma, more than you'll ever know. 1 month later, they made the ride, just the two of them, father and daughter, 400 miles to a military cemetery outside Flagstaff. Jake Collins's grave. Emma had never visited. Victor had never allowed it. Said it was unhealthy. Said she needed to move on. Now she stood before her father's headstone for the first time. Sergeant Jake Collins, Purple Heart, Bronze Star. Beloved father, gone but never forgotten. She knelt, placed flowers on the grave. Hi, Dad. It's Emma, your daughter. I don't know if you can hear me, but I hope you can. Marcus stood back, gave her space. I know you probably know everything already. About Victor, about Mom, about what happened, but I wanted to tell you myself. She wiped her eyes. I'm okay. Finally. For the first time in years, I'm actually okay. Uncle Grizzly Marcus, he saved me, just like you asked him to. He kept his promise. She looked back at Marcus. And I have a new dad now, not a replacement, an addition, someone to help carry on what you started. She turned back to the grave. I wish I remembered you better. I wish I had more time, but I know this, you were a hero. You saved people. You died protecting the people you loved. She stood. I'm going to make you proud, Dad. I promise. I'm going to live a life worthy of everything you sacrificed. She kissed her fingers, pressed them to the headstone. I love you, Daddy. Always. Marcus walked forward, stood beside her. Hey, Jake. He looked at the name carved in stone. I know it took me a while. Too long. I got lost for a few years. forgot who I was, forgot what I promised. He put his hand on the headstone. But I'm back now, and I'm going to take care of her, the way you would have, the way you trusted me to. His voice broke. She's amazing, Jake. Strong, brave. She's got your stubbornness and your mother's heart. She's going to do incredible things. He straightened. I'll see you someday, brother, but not yet. I've got work to do, promises to keep. Emma took his hand. Ready? Yeah, let's go home. They walked back to their bikes. 2 Harleys, father and daughter. Emma had gotten her license 3 weeks earlier. Marcus had taught her himself, said it was a family tradition. She mounted up, put on her helmet. Race you home. You're not fast enough to beat me. We'll see about that. They rode out of the cemetery, onto the highway, into the Arizona sunset. Behind them, 97 motorcycles waited. The Iron Brotherhood had come too, to pay respects, to honor one of their own. Now they fell in behind Marcus and Emma, a convoy of family, of loyalty, of love. They rode through the desert, past the mountains, past the pain of the past 3 months, toward home, toward the future, toward everything Jake Collins had dreamed of when he made his brother promise to protect his little girl. Emma pulled up beside Marcus, gave him a thumbs up. He returned it. And for the first time in 16 years, Marcus Thompson smiled without any pain behind it. The promise was kept. The family was whole. And somewhere in heaven, Jake Collins was finally at peace. Because promises aren't just words, they're actions. They're 97 strangers who became family in a single ride. They're a broken man finding redemption in a broken girl. They're love that transcends death distance and 16 years of regret. Marcus Thompson had spent his whole life running from who he was supposed to be. Now he knew. He was supposed to be a father. He was supposed to be a protector. He was supposed to be family. And he would never forget it again. Not ever. Not for anything. The convoy disappeared into the horizon. 97 engines, one promise, forever kept.